Okay, we are going live. Let's see how this sounds. I should probably put on my headset to make sure that we're not getting a double echo back like we did yesterday. All right, let's go to the live. Bear with me as we figure this out. Set that up later. Streaming software, OBS. Okay, looks like we are popping up as live. Let me mute this tab so it doesn't play back. Mute tab. All right, and let's see. Hey, let's go. We got some picture up. Let's go. Okay, sweet. All right, I'm going to be answering any questions that you have about AR-related stuff for your service business or for contractors. And so if you have any questions, please ask away, and hopefully I can help. And if I can't help, then we'll solve it together. Okay, so I am going to, while I wait on people to come in, I'm going to work on a Notebook LM. Basically, I was able to set up a social media management software on my computer, something that's ran on localhost, meaning that it's not deployed to the web, it's just ran on my computer. And so I have that set up to where I can take my YouTube videos and I can turn them into audio segments. Now, how I'm going to distribute that, I'm not sure. I have done a lot of other things that are more beneficial and crucial, like posting and newsletters and stuff like that. But I wanted to figure this out because I was messing around with it last night. It's probably a little bit too late, to be honest. I should have been in bed. And I was able to get it to create a podcast segment that was insanely good. I mean, so engaging. I am blown away by this. So I'm going to play this real quick. And let me make sure that I have my desktop audio turned on for you guys because that is the operational journey. Okay, it's playing in the background. 1 second. I got to change my audio source to the Scarlett. Oh no, I can't hear it, and I'm not sure. This happened last night, and I'm not sure why it's not playing through my headset. I think I have my monitoring on 100%. I have my tracks on. Okay. And I restarted my PC since last night too, and so it should be working, but it doesn't look like it is, but that's okay. Let me see if I hit play on this, if y'all can hear it. And I'm not seeing any track on OBS, my broadcasting software. So I need to set up another source, which would be not window capture. Audio, let's see, audio output capture. Yeah, that would be it. Okay, let's do that, and then we'll do existing desktop audio, and we'll click that, and it looks like I have
or
it
just
muted,
scribbling a number on a duplicate pad and handing it to them.
Exactly.
Okay.
But larger competitor.
Let me unmute my stream for a second. This might get a little obnoxious because I might be hearing a playback. This stuff is so much fun to set up. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to turn the desktop audio on again, and I'm going to keep talking for a second.
It is.
We get a little loop.
And when a decision maker, let's say they're looking at a
okay, so I'm not talking.
Let's say they're looking at a
I think the audio is okay, so
side by side. They use that
okay, so that
okay, so that
So even if your actual speed is miles better, so even if your actual speed
it doesn't, and that has to be incredible.
Note to self.
It doesn't, and that has
Let's
to be
see.
smaller operators contract.
Itself.
Let's
See.
see.
It is plain. Itself. See. It is plain.
and the owner certainly doesn't have time to spend 4 hours in the owner shapes hours, not at owner shapes hours. But let me push back on that owner shapes hours.
Okay.
But let me push because Jacob states in his material
You guys
that
might
Notebook
be hearing, and that might be
is capable of building very professional sales decks. But he also says most people end up with pretty bad results when they try.
Okay.
They do, yeah.
So
my question
check
is,
this out. We
is
have
Notebook
microphone
LM's
audio,
native generator
the master volume,
actually competitive with dedicated design tools?
That's a fair question.
Right,
like
because if we look at Canva or say Beautiful.ai,
anything
those are platforms built specifically for visual layout and pixel-perfect design.
Whereas Notebook LM is primarily
And I'm
a
just
research
hearing
assistant.
a hum. So I
Exactly.
wonder if
Yeah.
So
my headset
does the
is
lack
maybe
of
dead because it is
slick
getting a little
animations
bit
or
older now.
precise layout control
I don't think
actually
so.
matter for these businesses?
Well, that is
problems.
the crucial
Manage
distinction we
sound
have to make here.
devices.
Jacob's goal isn't to win a graphic design award.
Okay.
His goal is to cross
I
what
don't
we
know
can
what
call
that's
the
doing.
credibility threshold.
The credibility threshold. I like that.
Right. You don't need a
Is
presentation
there
that
a button
belongs
that
in a
I've hit?
modern
Direct
art
monitor
museum.
on.
You just need a
Off.
presentation
Okay,
that
so I can hear
reassures
my.
a skeptical
Okay, that's cool.
HOA
I didn't know you
board
could do that.
that you are a legitimate,
So I turn that on
organized,
to where I can
insured
hear
entity.
So you're just trying to cross the line from
myself
like
just
some guy
fine.
in a truck to established
Um,
local business.
Precisely.
Yeah, if
and
you
that
have
is why
any help on
generic
this,
AI
I would
output is
much-
so
I would
dangerous in
greatly
this
appreciate
context.
it
Because it
because
looks fake.
Yes.
I have not had this
If you
problem
use
before.
a basic ChatGPT prompts to
maybe
make a
somebody
slide deck,
knows it quickly
you get highly
or off the top of your
polished,
head,
but
if you've dealt with that
obviously
yourself.
AI-generated output.
Oh, you get those weirdly
speakers,
smooth,
Scarlett
unnatural stock
2i2
photos of
USB
like
that's
perfect
plugged
people
in,
pointing
and
at
we're ready to
whiteboards.
rock
Exactly.
and roll. I think.
Or you get
but
that overly
let's just go to like
verbose
YouTube
robotic
and turn on
text.
some music and
You know, the
see.
kind in today's
if
fast-paced
this-
pest control landscapes.
Oh man,
I
the
don't know if I should
AI
turn on music
buzzwords.
because of the
Right,
copyright
handing
thing.
that
I'm
to a
not sure how that
skeptical
works, but
prospect actually undermines
could just
trust.
turn
It
on
makes
a
it look like you're cutting corners.
short
So it's
little
worse than
clip
just a
here.
plain
Let's-
email.
this
In
looks
many
like
I swear to
ways,
God,
yes.
it feels like you're
The
watching
Okay,
an
magic
so
of
he's
Jacob's system
playing-
isn't
Oh my God,
making
did you know
Notebook
the AI can
LM
do this?
act
Not
like a
like
professional
ChatGPT.
human
Like we're actually
designer.
following up
It
with
forces
leads,
playing
Notebook
audio.
LM to
Look
act
like
like your
prepaid
specific
appointments, all with
business.
AI.
And I
Like
had
that.
it connected
We
to
just
my
started
headset.
for literally 2 weeks ago. $10,000 for
Because
AI
of that
follow-up
generic
PBI.
AI destroys
Once you
trust.
start getting
So the
clients, you
system
see all the
cannot
other people
begin with a
prospecting your
blank
clients.
prompt
Yep.
box.
No, absolutely not. You have to ground
Okay,
the
so
AI in
I'm just gonna go
reality.
apply
So
to this.
break that
I'm just
down
gonna
for us.
Claude.
What is he actually doing mechanically to start this process?
Well, how Jacob
Hey,
handles this
so I
is
need your
fascinating
help. I
because
have
it
a
utilizes the core
Scarlett-
architectural difference between Notebook LM and
Is
standard
it picking
AI
it up?
chatbots.
I don't think it's picking it up.
He creates a brand
Testing,
new
1,
notebook,
2, 3. Can
and
you hear
he
me? Okay, there we
uses
go.
the
All right,
company's
so I need your
actual
help. I have a
website as the
Scarlett
primary source.
2i2
drops the URL
connected
right
to
in.
Exactly.
my
Notebook LM allows
microphone.
you to
And the
dock
microphone is working great,
URLs,
fantastic.
PDFs, or text files
But the
directly
headset
into
is
the
plugged in
workspace.
as well, and it's not
So he
working.
feeds
So
the
what I'm wondering
website
is, I
in,
have my
and then
audio
uses
set
the
up
specific
correctly in the
prompts
bottom
to
right hand
instruct
corner,
the
set
AI
to
to extract the
speakers,
brand
which is the
guidelines.
Scarlett
So it's
2i2
reading the site
USB.
and pulling out the
But
identity.
I'm not
Yes.
hearing any
It
audio.
pulls
And when I
the
go into the
exact
actual
color
audio
hex
settings
codes, the
themselves,
tone
I
of
can
voice,
see the
company's core
waveform
messaging
or
style,
the bar
even the
kick
service
up,
guarantee.
showing that it
That's
is
brilliant.
catching audio.
And then the
But for
system
whatever
saves
reason,
that
it's not
extraction as a
actually,
permanent source node inside
picking
that
anything
specific
up, or I'm
notebook.
just not
I
hearing
really
it.
want to focus
And
on
I was
that
hearing
permanent
it just
source node
fine maybe
concept
2
for a
days ago.
second,
So
because I
I'm
feel
just
like
wondering
it
if you can help
completely
me with this.
changes
Thanks
the
so much.
dynamic.
It really does.
It's basically
see what
like
that
teaching a
says.
new employee the company rule book on their very first day.
Okay.
That's a perfect analogy.
You set this eager intern
Man,
down.
I'm so excited to show this. Oh, that's still playing in the background. Wow. It would be so funny if I go back and watch this, and then y'all could hear this just fine, and I can't hear it in my headset. And this whole time I've been just discombobulated. We'll see what happens. Check the monitor knob on the Scarlett itself. Yes, it is turned all the way up. Okay, turned all the way up. Physically, make sure it's pushed all the way in. It is, but I will replace it with the one in the back real quick, because I have another one. Let's see if the fob is bad. Testing.
Anybody spending money.
Nope, that wasn't it. So the fob is fine. Okay, so the fob is fine. This tab is not muted. So we're good there. All right. Your issues at work 2 days ago. Windows have switched their default output back to Scarlett, but not communication default. Okay. So right click that and then go to sound settings. Speaker sound, playback tab. Okay, so this is not the right one. I'm used to seeing like a different, I think it's sounds. Yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go. And then, all right, so this is probably our issue right here. So we have playback, which is on the Scarlett. Hopefully that's not obnoxious, because I can't hear it. Let's see, properties. That is good. Yeah, I mean, it all looks like it's working just fine. Okay, so let's just move on from there. Recording, it looks like we have our microphone from that. It looks like our Scarlett's working just fine, and it looks like this is working just fine. We'll screenshot this and save it. Wow, I hit Alt the whole time, so it's like jerking around. Man, what a mess I am. This is fun. This is a great way to get set up. Okay, let's get set up here. So add photos. Let's add that screenshot. I'm gonna say, okay, so everything looks like it's set up just fine. I'm not sure what's happening, you know? I'm really just not sure. We'll send that off and see. Da 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 da. Okay, so that's set up right. The monitor output knob is Scarlett. Okay. So the knob is turned all the way up. I have that. Everything, I haven't changed those physical settings, by the way. All that's been the same since it stopped working. I'm not sure what's happening. Direct monitor button. On some gens, there's a button labeled direct or air. Yeah, so I have direct monitor on. And so I can hear myself talk back in the headset slightly, which is fun. Headphone jack seating. Yeah, I've already taken the headphone jack out. I replaced it with a different one too to test it. Didn't fix it. And then what gen do I have? I think it's the 3rd gen. I've had it for about 3 or 4 years now. And so, yeah. Let's see if we can, software. Let's see if we can download something for it. That's so weird though, because it was working just fine, but it is what it is. Allow access to the microphone. Let's see. Okay, so that's on. Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. Let's go to... No, it's none of that stuff. 100% fine. What did I do 2 days ago to prevent this from working? There's something I did. Oh, so it's saying power cycle. Let's actually unplug it and then turn it back on. I mean, we could try that, but I'm a little scared. So let's see.
Money on ads. They're not.
Hey, that was literally the fix. It's just unplug it. I feel like that's something you would call somebody and be like, "Have you tried turning it on and back? Have you tried turning it off and back on again?" Like, yeah, of course I've tried that. That's the first thing I did. Duh. That's so funny. Okay, now we are set up. Let's go. We are in business. All right, let's go. I gotta thank the robots so they don't come back and torture me later. Hey, Claude. Claude, I just want to say thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. So unplugging the USB and then plugging it back in, ironically and hilariously enough, that was the fix. Thank you so much. Okay, so nice. We have sound. Okay, so let's check out this podcast audio. Back to where we were.
Picture this. Okay. It's like 9:00 p.m. on a Thursday.
Yeah, the classic late night scramble.
Exactly. And you have the skills to do a job perfectly.
Yeah.
You know the equipment, you know the site, you know exactly how to solve the client's problem.
Right, the operational side is locked down.
Totally.
Right.
But right now you're sitting at your kitchen table and you're just staring at a blank screen. You're facing this agonizing gap between knowing you could do the actual work and having the presentation skills to actually win the bid.
It's a huge pain point for so many people.
It really is.
So that's crazy because that is essentially what I did was I took my YouTube video number 9 and I had this program that I've created to pull out all the information I need for this Notebook LM, and it created this, and it essentially through Notebook LM, it created this podcast little segment that's 24 minutes long that sounds really, really good. And I'm blown away. I'm so blown away. And you can do all kinds of different like customization and stuff like that. So I could have them, like, I feel like what I could essentially do is I could go find the classical narrative and basically plug in that structure into Notebook LM to where they open up these, basically, how do I explain this simply without going overboard? So essentially when you open up a story loop, you have like let's say three things. So it's like, I'm going to give you 3 steps to do X, Y, Z. And on the second step, I mentioned something else, but I'll say we'll talk about that more later, or that's for another time, or you don't even really mention it. But you open up the curiosity in the listener's head, and then when you finish with the third one, the other person's like, well, what about that thing you mentioned? Oh, yes, thank you. And then you just basically do that on rinse repeat for 2 or 3 hours for a podcast or however long you want to do. I think the better podcast timing might be like 30 or 45 minutes. But regardless, that's how you do it. And so I'm thinking if I was to go into Notebook LM and set up this classical narrative like that and then do this same thing, I can have highly engaging podcast segments about the videos I made or whatever I want it to be about. But I'm just blown away. I'm going to listen to some more of this.
Yes, you're about to send this, plain text email quote, or maybe, if you're feeling really fancy, a basic PDF with a black and white logo.
Which took you an hour to format, by the way.
Right. And you're doing this while knowing with absolute certainty that a bigger competitor just handed that exact same client a glossy, beautifully branded 10-page presentation.
Yeah.
So the anxiety of clicking send in that moment, it's incredibly real.
Essentially a few lines of basic text. While your competitor, they're using visual design to project authority.
And scale, right.
Exactly. Scale and reliability.
But the implications, they go way beyond just those trades.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The problem he's solving, it isn't just limited to pest control. It's really a blueprint for how independent operators can compete with mass.
Initiative to your boss.
The underlying challenge is the same.
Exactly.
Okay, there was a cutoff there.
Mastering the art of generating consistent professional AI deliverables without, tearing your hair out. It's a modern superpower.
He really is.
So, okay, let's unpack this, because usually when people...
I feel like it would be so funny. You could literally just create a podcast to just praise you, which would be so funny and narcissistical. But you could set it up on like some random brand page and just basically have this podcast release episodes every single day or week or whatever that's just praising you about how good you are, which is so stupid, but also really funny. Okay, so I'm going to try that real quick. I'm going to say 3-act classical story structure. Let's go with that. Okay, so the 3-act. If you don't know what this is, so I have been going to film school, studying this stuff because I love it as a passion. It's really fun for me. It's storytelling. Storytelling is everything. And so in this 3 acts, you basically have the exposition, which is just the start of the story, and then you have the inciting incident. So basically, it's a choice. Am I going to go left on the trail, or am I going to go right on the trail? Am I going to face my problems or run away from them? And then whatever that is it's something that you cannot turn from. You will never be changed, no matter whether you say yes or no, right? Like, it's a big thing. And then that opens up plot point number 1. You lead into it. So that's the beginning of the story, essentially, right? The way we think about it. And then you have rising action. So you have just conflict and tension. And then you have the midpoint, and that's where things flip upside down. Like halfway through the movie, things change. You're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. So think about Jurassic Park, how like the first half of the movie, they were trying to get on the island. And then the second half of the movie, they're trying to get off the island, which is so funny. That's like a perfect, example of classical storytelling. So, and then we go into plot point 2, and then we go up to the pre-climax. So things are getting really, really, really tense, and it's like a lot is riding on this. And then there's a climax. And so the reason I bring this up is because we could theoretically program this into a podcast segment. So give me 1 second. So what I'm going to do is I am going to open up VS Code, and I will pull it over here in just a second. Okay, so let's pull this up. And I might have to hide this if there's private information that pops up because I'm new to the streaming game, so bear with me. Let's see. I'm going to say, hey, Claude. So I am live on... Oh, there's an error with the dictation. Let's try that again. Hey, Claude. So I am... It's so funny. I am live on stream right now, so don't expose any private information in this chat, please. What I would like to know is I'm thinking that we have the podcast segment for the ASB studio, my personal social media management studio. What I'm wondering is for the podcast segment or the audio segment, could I somehow wire in the 3-act classical structure? It could be 3-act, be 5-act, 8-act. Doesn't really matter. The main thing is as long as we have this structure of the story, and then we have the story loops that open up right throughout this to keep the people engaged. So I think Callaway talks about the 90-second rehook. And so is there a way that we could basically wire this in using this classical story structure, using these open story loops and these 90-second rehooks? And it may not have to be 90 seconds, whatever the timing is for listening to audio. Can we wire that in by chance? Go ahead and figure something out and then report back to me with what you find. Thank you so much. We're going to send that off, and then I'm going to actually take a screenshot. I don't actually think no, I'm not going to take a screenshot. It doesn't need to know this because it knows what the three-act classical structure is. It's pretty intuitive at this point for it. But yeah, this is basically how storytelling works. If I go to, I'm going to open up story loops. Let's go to story loops. That's not what I want, but that's okay. This is an actual brand. Story loops. Posture check. Dialogue process. Formal system noun. That looks promising. This is okay. So here we go. This is more it, right? So what we're doing is we're opening up in a story loop, and then we're cross dipping here, and then closing this story loop, and then that essentially is opening up another one. And you just do this throughout the whole time. So I am actually just because I'm being a little controlling over the robot here, I am going to actually download this into my downloads. That's a WebP file. That's fine. And then for the 3-act classical structure, we're just going to do. Let's go back. That notebook was fun. I just don't like the aesthetic of it. I'm being picky. Here we go. All right. And then we'll save that as a picture as well. And then I'll go back to VS Code. And I'm going to upload those pictures there. Let's see. Okay, sweet. And we have that. And let's see what it says. So it says, yes, this is wireable 3 pieces where it lands. And the audio, the structure, notebook LM format, length 15 to 10, 15 to 25, or 5 to 2010. I'm tripping up here. Open story loops, Callaway mechanic audio version. Generate 2 to 4 loops planted in Act 1, paid off across later acts. Examples, output the model returns. We'll tell you which step Jacob almost skipped that would have killed the build. See, this is the stuff I'm talking about. It's highly engaging because now your brain's like, wait, what is that? There's one number in this video that's going to sound wrong. Yeah, I love this stuff. This is crazy. We live in a crazy time. Okay, let's arc pick +1 reason 1. 45 to 60 minutes. When Claude says that and you turn on bypass permissions and you're on max and you're in, it literally takes maybe 5 minutes. I'm going to say, okay, all of this sounds really great and really impressive. I uploaded 2 pictures to show you like the story loops and then the 3-act classical structure, which I'm sure you already know about. Essentially, what I want to do is be able to generate the assets that I need inside of my ASB Studio. And then I can copy those, and then, of course, you upload the instructions, and you tell me which steps and what to click on Notebook LM. I'll go to Notebook LM, and then I will do the actual things there. And so, yeah, I think this all sounds great. Let's go ahead and greenlight it and run for it. Thanks so much. Okay, sweet. That is so funny. You should see the way I talk to AI when I'm not on stream. It's not. Sometimes it's not as polite, but we've all been there. Okay, so we don't need this. We can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. Yeah, so essentially what I did is it generated me this content that I turned into an audio note on the right here, right? So AI generated all this, and then I turn this, I right-click it in Notebook LM and convert to a source. And then that pops it over here to the left-hand side into a source, and now the Notebook LM is just pulling from that, which is incredible. And then I can chat with it, which I really don't need to. Main thing is I can go over here and create the audio overview, aka the podcast segment. And and then you can download this too. You can download the audio file, which is just insane. It's absolutely insanity. It's crazy. It's nuts. Now, it would be cool. I do now wonder if I could change Wow, you can change the language. That's insane. That's beyond me though. I can't. I have so much to keep up. I can barely keep up with it in English. You can do long, short, default. I know that. It would be cool. It would be really cool if you could change the speaker's tone and voice. Although I do think they sound fantastic. I think they sound really, really good. So we could just leave those alone for now. Okay, let's see what VS Code said. Okay, so right now it's got a full picture and it's creating it. And if you're not sure what the ASB Studio is, basically it's something I named. I'm going to rename this to probably J1 Studio, which my business is called J1 Systems, or J1 Media Productions is the main LLC. But I'm going to rename this to something along those lines. This is from the YouTube creator Bosar. That's Bosar. He has this thing that I went to, I think it was Gumroad is where I bought it from. And then I downloaded the GitHub. And essentially it looks something like this, but I beefed it up a lot. I changed the look. I changed the style. I've added a ton of different things to it. I've spent a lot of tokens on this, and it's been incredible. Absolutely amazing. So we can demo this later because this is really cool, and I'm working on building it up more. But this is so powerful. Like, this is literally so powerful. So to stay on track here, we have the audio segment. So as VS Code builds this out, I can update this essentially. So again, this is ran on localhost. Localhost is something that is ran on your computer. So if I'm on another computer, I can't access it. All right, it's on my computer, and so yeah, it's all local. That's hence the word localhost. Okay, let's see what we're at right now. So it creates a little to-do list, and then it's going to go through and it's going to do all of this. Yeah. Am I missing anything? Is there anything that I tripped up on? Probably so. We'll find out in a minute. All right, that looks great. All right, so let's go back to Notebook LM while we wait. And let's look at... So let's see, Alex Ramosi. I got to work on that one later for my flashcards. Yeah, so you can use Notebook LM for flashcards. And I know that sounds silly, but if you're trying to learn like the things that you actually need to learn for your business, you can just take all those sources and put them into a Notebook LM and generate flashcards for it. So you're not having to go through, like, let's say it's a 180-page book, and then maybe 150 pages of it is irrelevant to you specifically because you either know it or it's not applicable to your business. And so you can create these flashcards in here for whatever you want. And you can do it from YouTube channels too. So, man, do I want to create a demo of that real quick? I kind of do, but I'm trying to think of like what would be, oh, here's a, let's see, is this going to be a good one? Let's try this out. We could go to Donald Miller. Maybe we go to Donald Miller. If you don't know who Donald Miller is, he's an author, speaker, and he's created the Story Brand. Fantastic guy. My go-to guy for marketing-related stuff. Like the website that I just built is based off his teachings. Like this is everything I learned from Donald Miller for this website. Okay, and we can go through all this later. It's really cool. Story Brand, Donald Miller. Let's see what we got here. So we got the podcast, how to make your business message so clear. Yeah, so essentially what we can do is, let's just take this YouTube video here. Can we select that? Let's see. Let's share it. Let's copy that link, and then let's go to that video directly.
The way most
That was loud. I'm sorry about that. Let's turn that down.
people talk about their businesses, it isn't working. Most companies, if I go to your website, I cannot tell what problem you solve. You're talking about a bunch of stuff I don't care about. You're making a lot of mistakes. And so listen, this is the key to phenomenal growth in your business. By the end of the next hour, I want to give you a framework. You're going to invite customers into a story in which they use your product to win the day in their life, and you are going to help the hero win.
Wow. Yeah. See, that's incredible. Like, that dude is so well spoken. Oh my goodness. All right. So now we can go to Notebook LM, and we can, and by the way, Notebook LM is free with limitations. I'm not sure how many Notebook LMs you get, but if you pay for the $20 a month Google thing, you get like Gemini, Notebook LM, like 200, I think. You get the AI in your Gmail, in your Drive. Like, you get 2 terabytes of storage. I mean, it's $20 a month. It's super worth it. Highly recommend. All right, so let's go to this. We're going to upload this and check this out. Check this out. StoryBrand, how clear messaging drives business growth. And I'm going to embarrass myself here because I'm not going to know the answers. Okay, so let's go to the quiz and then difficulty level. Let's go easy. I'm not going. Okay, we'll stick with medium. I'm not going to cower down on that. Medium's middle ground. Okay, and then we're just going to, I could fill this in, but let's just generate it for now. And that's going to generate a bunch of basically flashcards. Oh no, I did the wrong one. I did quiz. Let's do flashcards. My bad. It's right there in front of me. All right, so we'll do both. I haven't tried the quiz yet, but we'll do the flashcards. See, this is so powerful. This is what I'm talking about. This is so powerful. So if you're not familiar, Google has what they call their Google embeddings model. And essentially what it allows is you could upload an entire manual. Let's say you have I'm just going to use an example here that's irrelevant, but you have a manual for your truck or your vehicle, and it's a full breakdown. You could upload that entire manual into here and say, hey, how do I fix, the, radiator hose? Like, how do I get the clamp to work back again? It will go into the manual, find it for you, and it will tell you step by step how to fix it, and it will give you the sources for where it found it, which is incredible. So you no longer have to read through a ton of pages. It's all digital, interactive, real time. And so that's the way that this works is like I have this source over here, and then all of the AI is extracting all the information from here, and it's curating it and embedding it into this model that's all, I don't know if the right word is cross-triangulate, but that's essentially what it's doing. Okay, so question number 1. According to the StoryBrand framework, what is the primary reason most business messages fail? Unclear? It is confusing and does not clearly state what the problem the business solves. Okay, that's an easy one, though. That's an easy one. Give that one to me for free. In the context of the 4 Ps of business, product, people, procedures, what is the 4th P? Oh, crap. Product, people, procedures. I'm not going to have that one. Positioning. I should have known that, man. Position. That's a judo thing. If you don't have position, you don't have nothing. All right, so that's fine. We lost that one. That one was free because that was turned around. So we'll just exit that one out too. Okay, so I guess you got to flip it around before you hit the exit because you'll see the next one. Good to know. What determines the value a customer assigns to a product more than the visual branding? What determines the value a customer assigns to a product more than the visual branding? What problem it solves for them? The specific words used to describe the product. How does that one make sense? Describe what determines the product. Oh, so okay, yeah, that makes sense. A description. I lost 2. Okay, wow, I'm really sucking it up here. What are the 2 primary goals the human brain is constantly trying to achieve? Man, these are some hard questions. I should have gone with easy. These are big questions. Trying to fit in is one of them. We're always trying to fit in. What are the 2 primary goals the human brain is constantly trying to achieve? Always trying to fit in into a crowd, like we have to have our community, our circle. And then purpose, right? So community and purpose, that's got to be it. To survive and thrive and to conserve calories. See, these are, okay, yes, that's also correct. But I think what I said was correct too, I think. I mean, let's see if we can explain. So, I'm learning something new myself. I did not know this was a feature. So you can literally have it explain, and it's going to give you a full breakdown. This is... I feel like I'm playing in a video game now. I really do. I feel like I can create anything. The answer is yes now. It's insane. Like, this is such a bridge. This is closing the gap from what I want to actually being real. To survive and thrive, the first and most important job of the human brain is to keep you alive. Okay, agreed. Sounds right. And help you navigate the world safely. Okay, got it. So I should have been thinking more of a survival instinct, not just in a marketing instinct. I was thinking from positioning side of things. It is constantly scanning the environment to identify and mitigate potential threats. However, in a first world society where basic needs like food and shelter are generally met, the brain's focus shifts to more sophisticated levels of survival. This means actively looking for things that will help you thrive, such as greater comfort and peace of mind. Okay. Better physical and emotional and psychological health, such as getting better sleep, and stronger relationships, including better connection with your children, a stronger marriage, or good friends. Now that one, I think that one should be number one. I really do. I think that the community is like the number one thing we're looking for is community. Like once we have isn't it like there's a hierarchy of needs, and I forgot what level. I got some studying to do, guys. Okay, I've been doing AI too much here lately. All right. Not a bad thing. Could have been doing worse things one time, like playing video games. All right. Approximately how many calories does the human brain burn daily just by processing environmental information? I think it's 1,400. Really? Okay, I think 1,400. Okay, man, I got to go over here. All right, so we're all fixed now, but I just need to know how many calories a day does the human brain process just from environmental things? And then also, how much does the human brain just burn every day in general in calories? Okay. Okay, I'm going to turn off my desktop for just a second. I'm not hiding anything except for private info. I'm just going to open up a chat real quick. Okay, it opened up on the side anyway, so it didn't matter. Okay. All right, great. So we're back. Total daily brain energy is 300 to 500 calories a day, about 25% of your energy. Okay, about 20% of your energy. Okay, no, dude, this is crazy. I'm learning so much. This is so cool. Wow, I am really sucking it up. Okay, how does the human brain react to information that does not seem related to its survival? How would I not? I would disregard it, right? Like I wouldn't pay attention to it. Yeah, okay, I got that one right. To successfully sell a product, what must a business associate its product with in the customer's mind? To successfully sell a product, what must a business associate its product with the customers in the customer's mind? It has to align with their story. It has to fit into their story. It has to be, but that's too general. I'm not answering the question. To successfully sell a product, associate its product with the customers, within the customer's mind. It has to be necessary. It has to help you go from B to C, from C to D. Like it has to help you on your journey. It has to align. It has to be a tool for your journey. The customer survival or ability to thrive. Okay, so it's interesting that I'm thinking like in terms of story, positioning, and stuff like that. And he had that, but he's basically talking right now about like the most basic survival stuff. So I need to shift my mindset to like just pure psychology and not just like the actual story branding. Because I've read his book multiple times, and I'm stuck on like that itself, and Daniel Presley's book, which is fantastic. I highly recommend. Oversubscribed by Daniel Presley. Fantastic book. All right. Okay. I can't give it. That would be dishonest. In modern first world context, what higher levels of survival does the brain seek? In modern first world, comforts, right? We just learned that comforts and access to better friends and stuff like that, right? Like emotional health, social connection, status, and resource. Okay, yep. Let me give it to me. All right, the core mantra for business messaging: if you blank, you will lose. I should know this one. This is crazy. The core mantra for business messaging: if you blank, you will lose. If you wait, you will lose. If you blank, you will lose. Man, I just feel like there's so many. I'm thinking of speed. I'm thinking of like, if you're not fast, you will lose. Like you need to be fast, right? So if you wait or if you're slow, but it's you. If you blank, you will lose. I might have to just get this one. If you confuse, See, man, see, this is great. This is fantastic. Because I feel like, okay, so just real quick, recap for AI. When you use AI, if you've used AI in a chat before, you've gone through and had messages for hours and hours and hours, and then you open up a new chat, and then you start talking about it, and you get frustrated because it's like, dude, it has no context on you. A lot of times AI will lose like 90% of what you talked about. But the cool thing about that is we learned that we do the same thing, that we can have this talk. You could watch an hour of this video, and it could be an absolute gold mine. Right now, it's definitely more like a, it's more of like a, not a gold mine. Is you would forget like 90% of this. You forget like 90% of everything every day anyways. And so it's like you have to not only have very valuable, curated, filtered information, but you have to continuously go through it. So this is fantastic. All right. Oh, man, this is embarrassing. Why is story condense considered the most powerful tool for capturing human attention? Because we see ourselves in it. The only tool that compels the brain to stop daydreaming for long periods. It's the only tool that compels the brain to stop daydreaming for... Does that... No, explain to me. What? Because we see ourselves in a story. Like, if I read a story of somebody being the hero, I imagine myself being that guy. Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm projecting myself there. We spend 30% of our time daydreaming. Wait, hold on a second. We'll finish this up, and I gotta go back to... I lost track of the VS Code. This is deeply connected to what we discussed earlier about the brain constantly trying to conserve the massive amount of energy it takes. Okay, so this is incredible. All right, so the main takeaway from this whole thing here with Notebook LM is that you can go into Notebook LM, put in a video that's very valuable, or videos or documents, whatever. You can create flashcards, you can create quizzes, and then you can go through and then have it explained. And this is like the most engaging active learning that I have ever done in my life. This is so cool. All right, back to business. All right, so it looks like for the ASP Studio, so we'll land on audio, front end, narrative arc card, shows the picked arc badge, reason, okay. New Notebook LM step-by-step, excuse me. All right, and then the workflow now. Okay, so we need to go generate 4 assets produced in parallel, so we'll go do that. I will refresh my studio, and then we'll go to here, and then I'll just regenerate that. This is going to take probably 30 seconds to a minute. So we'll just pop this back up and read. Copy the briefing, paste as a Notebook LM source, got it. Copy focus prompt, arc already baked in, paste into customize, got it. Follow the number step cards, got it. Notebook LM produces the audio with the 3-act, 5-act structure, planted loops, rehook beats, already directing the host. I'm going to be blown away if it does this. Like, I have a feeling that it's going to be wrong, and I need to do some reiteration, which is fun. That's perfect. This is how I've gotten so much stuff done with AI. It's just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So it's perfect. All right. So this is going to take some time. And then once we upload it into Notebook LM, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this notebook for this one, and I'm going to just delete these podcasts, even though they're freaking awesome. Oh, I did not show you, and I don't want to get sidetracked too much. You can interactively talk with this. So I can watch this. I'm going to hit play, and then I'm going to talk to the AI about this, okay?
Oh, our listeners got something to share. Let's hear it.
Hey, what's going on, man? Oh, wait, did it kick me out? It kicked me out.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yo, dude, what's going on? Wait, it keeps kicking me out. What am I doing wrong?
We are so glad you are tuned in with us today.
Yeah, it is great to have you here for this deep dive.
We are talking about something that sounds a bit dry, but is actually a game changer.
Okay, let us unpack this, because we are looking at
Whoa,
AI
can you hear
for
me?
service businesses.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
Okay, can you hear me? Oh, it didn't kick me out. It just basically pings me back to the front. I've used this like one time to mess around with.
Loud and clear. We are so glad you are checking in.
So there's
with us.
quite a
It is
delay
great
there.
to know the connection is solid. We were just getting into the weeds here.
Yeah, we were just starting to talk about AI for service businesses.
Specifically, folks like HVAC techs, lawn care pros, or pest control specialists.
These are the people out there doing the real work, not sitting in tech offices.
But they face a huge problem when it comes to winning big commercial contracts.
Right? They are often up against giant franchises with flashy branded sales decks.
And if you are a solo operator, you probably do not have a design.
Wow, that's really incredible. So anyways, you can have a conversation with this. I just wanted to show that's really cool. So let's just delete. I'll leave that there for now. I might mess around with that later. All right, let's go to our thing here. So we have our Notebook LM briefing. So I can copy this. I can go back to Chrome. I'm not going to delete that. I'm just going to modify it. So I can Control All and then paste it there. That automatically saves. And then I can delete this source here, delete it. And then Notebook LM, we're going to, this one here, we're going to convert to a source. And so now that's converted as a source. And then let's open up the audio overview. And then we have our instructions pasted here from my system that is showing the narrative arc, 3 acts, exposition, exciting incident, rising action, midpoint, plot point, pre-climax, climax. There's a trick Jacob uses where he turns AI against another to get better results, and it's not what you would expect. The first deck Notebook LM spits out is going to frustrate you. We'll get to why that's actually the point. That doesn't sound too fun. All right. But anyway, so it generated that, and that's all great. I don't know if this is like really that useful. But I mean, it's here. Story structure baked into the focus prompt below. Direct the host, pacing. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to paste that somewhere. Let me ask VS Code real quick. So the narrative arc. Let's go to VS Code. Hey, so that narrative arc that came back to me, am I supposed to paste that somewhere? And we'll see what it says. But I do know for a fact that for our settings, we have, it's a brief, it's short, and then this is what we're going to say here. I think, okay, so it automatically copies there, which is super cool. And then the Notebook LM steps, create a new notebook, add the briefing as a source, overview. I'm not going to need this every time. I'll probably just tell it not to do this, but it is cool that I can open Notebook LM from there. I think it'd be even cooler if we could open it from the top here. That would be better, but I'm always finding things to fix, and I love it. I am just never-ending things to always work on. Speaking cheat sheet, not a script. Most businesses, okay. So that's just like the talking points for that. Okay. All right, cool. So that's fine, but I'm going to post this here. It said brief. It said, okay, so brief is automatically short, I guess. And then we'll go back to what VS Code says. No, that's just for your eyes, a planning view, so you can see how the podcast is structured. The arc narrative is already baked into the focus prompt. The card below, you only paste 2 things: the briefing into, and then the focus prompt. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's great. Sweet. So I'm not gonna wait for it to come back with that. I'm just gonna go ahead and fire this off, and then we will generate that. Now, this is going to take a minute, and I have to run after this because I have another Zoom that started like 5 minutes ago for a group Zoom, and I need to go jump over there. So yeah, we'll have to wait on this to come back, but this is a lot of cool stuff. Let's go back. While we're waiting, I'm going to do the not Daniel Price. I'm going to do the Donald Miller story brand. Okay. We haven't tried the quiz. I want to see what the quiz is about. According to the source material, what are the primary 2 things the human brain is always trying to do? And I'm not sure if you can see my camera. No, my head's not blocking that too bad. Maximize pleasure and avoid physical discomfort. So this might be a little bit better, I think, because the other questions might have been, they weren't vague, but they were a lot of different ways to correctly answer that. So what's going to be my excuse when I fail miserably this time? Because I'm not going to have one. All right, so survive, thrive, and conserve calories. We know that, yes. And it shows that we got it right. That's so cool. And we can explain. Dude, this is insane. What is... By the way, I have not hit a usage limit on Notebook LM. I haven't hit one. So I don't know if there is one, but I've used Notebook LM a lot. So what is a mistake for a brand position itself as the hero of the customer story? Heroes are typically the antagonist in modern marketing narratives. Okay. The hero is often a weak character who is ill-equipped for looking for help. Customers prefer to support businesses that admit they are struggling. A story can only have one character at a time. What is the mistake for a brand to position itself as the hero of the customer story? Well, typically heroes are the protagonist, antagonist, protagonist, marketing errors. My brain is going blank because I haven't eaten yet. Customers prefer to support businesses. I think that this is it. No, the hero is often a weak character. It's often a weak character who's ill-equipped. No, oh my gosh, I knew that one because it's Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Luke Skywalker is the hero and Obi-Wan Kenobi is the god, and he's ill-equipped to go do what he's going to do to fight against the Empire, and so he has to have help. Duh, knew that one. I just overthought it. That's all it was. That's all that was. Well, let me pull this up real quick and see. Yeah, because the antagonist is the bad guy and the protagonist is the good guy. I knew I was right on that, but I just overthought the question. To successfully position yourself as the god, what 2 qualities must your brand demonstrate? To successfully position yourself as the god, what 2 qualities must your brand demonstrate? Affordability and speed, creativity and mystery, humility and persistence, empathy and authority. I'm going to say empathy and authority because you need to be, as a god, empathy. And so you empathize with the hero and then you have the authority to guide the hero. Boom. Got it. Okay, sweet. In the StoryBrand framework, what are the 3 levels of a problem a customer faces? Financial, social, and spiritual, external, internal, and philosophical, primary, secondary, and tertiary. I don't know what that word is. Initial, middle, and terminal. I think it's going to be external, internal, and philosophical for sure. What is the primary purpose of providing a 3-step plan in your marketing? To increase the perceived value of the product through complexity? That's definitely not it. To provide a detailed technical manual for the product to use? Nobody cares. To lift the fog and reduce cognitive dissonance or fear of buying? To satisfy legal requirement? It's definitely number C for sure. Okay, sweet. And then what does the text identify as the hook that catches the fish in marketing? A beautiful logo and a color scheme? Nope. A high-quality product description, the customer's problem, the history and origin of the company. Definitely the customer's problem. Yeah. Which component is not part of the formula for a powerful one-liner? The price of the product, the product as the solution, the problem the customer faces, the successful result experience. Which component is not? Okay, so we're picking up some traction here. I'm going from dummy to less dummy real quick. Watch me put my foot in my mouth here. Which component is not a part of the formula? I hate these not questions because I always go for the one that it is, and the not is the one that's not. So, powerful one-liner. What is not part of the formula for a powerful one-liner? What would not be? The price of the product? Yeah, that's right. Okay. According to Don Miller, how many things can your brand be known for in the marketplace? Exactly 3 core values, as many as the customer needs, 1 thing. I think it's 1 thing. Yeah, it's definitely 1 thing. So to cut through the noise, a brand must dominate a single category or promise so that it is easily to be remembered. That is super true. Okay, so we have the text mentions that a brain typically spends what percentage of its time daydreaming. This is kind of a freebie for me because we did it a minute ago. It's 30% on the flashcard, so that's fine. What is the 4th P of business that helps when products and procedures are installed? So it's definitely positioning. Yeah. Okay. So done. So I got 9 out of 10 right, and that's awesome. So anyways, Notebook LM, you can do it for studying this stuff. It's absolutely incredible. All right, let's go back to VS Code and see where it's at on building this out. Okay, it's done. Let's go back to our other one and see it's still generating the audio. See, that took about 5 or 6 minutes, I think. We're working on this quiz, and it's still generating the audio, but still super cool that it can do that. All right, so we don't need that. I'm going to save this for later. It's so cool that you can interactively. By the way, for the Notebook LM, you can do slide decks, video overview, mind map, reports, flashcards, you name it. You can do all kinds of stuff, so it's super cool. All right. Just waiting on this to come back. What could we do? while we're waiting. And I do have to go soon. I'm terribly late for that other Zoom call. What could we do to pass the time by? So we can do quizzes, infographics. So the thing is, though, I can't generate this stuff like quickly because it all takes time, and I can't just do it real quickly. But you can do the infographics. You can do the flashcards. You do data tables, reports. Okay, so you can do all this, but let's just narrow it down to what's actually useful. What I have found that's extremely useful at Notebook LM is the slide decks. Extremely useful. Also, the mind map, because you can spread out the mind map, and then you can individually click on things, and it will open that up in the chat. Kind of like how in the quizzes it says, explain this. It does that, but in the mind map. Super cool. The reports, they're cool. I use Gemini Deep Research for the reports. For the flashcards, really good. For the quiz, the infographic, I haven't used it that much, but I think it's pretty good. And then the data tables are pretty nice. So there's some good tools here. The new one I'm messing around with right now is the audio overview. I haven't found like a really good viable use for that thing specifically, but we're working on it. All right, I'm feeling the pressure because I am so late. Okay, we'll go back to the flashcards. I'm so anxious right now. Wait on that now. It's like right there. Okay, let's just get rid of these flashcards. This is embarrassing. Oh, so let's think of like, we have this video and we're trying to learn about it, but visually, yeah, exactly. Okay, so we need to visually learn about this. So let's do that. Let's go into, not an explainer video. Let's do the infographic. And let's try to keep it really, really simple. I like to do the instructional one is good, and then landscape, and then standard. Let's do concise. You don't want standard because it's going to generate too much stuff. So let's generate that for the story brand. And then let's see if our audio, man, is still going. The audio takes a while, and it's understandable because, I mean, it's generating a whole podcast, which is insane. Still waiting. You know, what I'm wondering is, whatever happened to that gym guy? And this is off subject here. No, I gotta stay on topic. Look, I have a terrible time of like going off on things, and when it comes to my mind, I'm like, oh, let me go, squirrel. No, that's not good. We need to stay on focus, even though if we're waiting. What else could I talk about? Well, yeah. So in Gemini, you have deep research just like you do, or in Notebook LM, you have deep research just like you do in Gemini, which is fantastic. You can also search the web, and you can also go. This is a crazy part. You can also use your contents from your G Drive. So, like for instance, I operate a lot of my stuff from the G Drive. I could have my G Drive as the source of data, and I can be like, hey, generate me an infographic explaining how I'm doing things, or do me a quiz or a video overview, whatever you want, whatever you can think about. A mind map, which would be, great. So there's a lot of different things you can do with that. It's fantastic. Okay, so we've got our audio segment back from the...
This is the brief on using Notebook LM to build automated service business proposals. You know the operational pain of working a 10-hour day in the field only to spend your evening building sales decks from scratch for property managers. But this system turns that hours-long chore into minutes. There's a trick Jacob uses where he turns one AI against another to get better results. And it's not what you'd expect. Coming up, the part where he uses one AI to write instructions for another AI. And honestly, it's kind of brilliant. First, load your site into Notebook LM.
Wow, that it sounds kind of narcissistical when you hear, because it's like talking about you, and it sounds nice, but it's also coming from a robot, so it's not even real. But so that's really cool. The only thing I don't like is I don't like how it just generated like the minute 40. Last night when I did it, it was the full, here, where is it? Right
this
here.
Is the brief.
Nope, this one. Yeah, 24 minutes long, which is just insane. It was the host talking back and
He's an
forth.
Air Force veteran, former pest control technician, and he figured out how to bridge this exact gap.
Dude, it sounds so good. It's insane that it can do this stuff. Okay, let's look at this infographic, and then I've got to go because I am super late for this Zoom call. I am so sorry. 5-step business. It's a group Zoom call that they're not waiting on me, but I need to be there to support. If you confuse, you lose. The 5-step story brand framework. Isn't this just absolutely insane that it can do this? So essentially, again, to recap, we uploaded Donald Miller's story brand video. It's about an hour 15 long, and then it has the whole thing in here. And then we generated an infographic, and then that pops up, and now this is it right here. This is a visual explainer of what's going on. So step 1, define the hero's desire. Identify what your customers want. Step 2, identify the problem. Own the problem to own the market. Step 3, position yourself as the guide. Demonstrate empathy and authority. We understand your struggle. We have the plan. And then step 4, provide a 3-step plan. Build a bridge to the solution. So simple path, clear steps, eliminate the fear. And then step 5, call to action with stakes. Ask for the sale and show the stakes. Buy now. Happy ever after or failure if you don't. It's so genius. It's so smart. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I promise tomorrow for the next stream, we've got all the kinks figured out for now. Fingers crossed, probably we'll have some more down the road. But that's okay. We will be back live. Oh, not tomorrow. It's Saturday. We'll be back live on Monday at, I think we're doing 1 p.m. Yeah, we're doing 1 p.m. for sure. Hold me to it. I will see you there on Monday, 1 p.m. Thank you so much, and peace out for now, okay? Bye, y'all.